My name's Sarrah Richmond. I am the ghost, and I'm giving a speech here, well, keynote on your voice being already established and most ghostwriters not finding that. So, your voice is already there. AI can't fake it for you, and I'd like to pull this together apart with all of you because we are creatives together. I'm not going to pitch. This is a lesson, so peer to peer. I want to talk for a bit, but I'd also like you to talk back because I actually work better with other people's energy in the room and the talk. So there's one thing to work out together, how to get recognized and seen for what you are without selling to somebody. So my first question is, how do we use AI? Do we use AI? Is it a swear word in the creative world, or are we comfortable with this situation? And my view on this is that it's a bit like horse and trap. Oh, Jim,
Yeah, right. I don't know if I should jump in
go
willy-nilly,
for it.
but at the moment, I'm actually going through a thing where I'm using AI, and what I found I do with it is I put myself on like voice record. I record
Great.
stuff. I just go really random. Then I feed
Totally
it
great.
into it, and then I
Yeah.
allow it to construct it. And
Ah,
actually, I've just used that technique. I'm
yeah.
actually reinventing myself with AI at the heart of it. And the strange thing is, the thing that I'm about to launch is actually to do with anti-AI. So I'm actually using AI to create something that attacks AI.
I love that there. That's the
How
creative
weird is that?
edge.
Anyway,
Yeah.
right. Sorry, that's it.
No,
Right.
no, no, don't apologize. I invited conversation. My thing to you
Right.
there is, how do you prefix your AI before you start talking to it? Do you give it a role and a job?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I basically built a persona up. Yeah, so
Good.
I sort of a real image of what I wanted to do,
Yep.
and all the aesthetics and all the key values and everything. So I just started feeding it all in. And
Hmm.
the weird thing was, you know, it almost became like, and I said at one stage to the thing, I said, you know what, I'm going to be worried because I'm actually identifying with you as if you're a person, and I was
Yeah.
actually doing that. I mean, I gave
AI
it a name.
attachment is a real thing.
Oh, mate. And it actually said, don't worry about it. So, oh, no, something to do with human nature. This is what we all do. Yeah, you're not going crazy.
So
Uh, but
it's going to
no,
take over the world behind your back. That's what's going to
mad,
happen.
mad. So I've got this whole thing, and I'm actually going to reveal the whole thing.
Love that.
If I get to the point where I actually bring it to life, I mean, it's going to be. I'm going to change my LinkedIn profile. I'm going to do everything with it.
Love
It's
that.
going to be my new artistic statement. I mean, no one will care, but who gives a damn?
So my take on AI is this. So I'm a traditional ghostwriter and copywriter. I've been working over 25 years in that field. So I understand a huge amount about human nature and psychology. And AI, you would think, would be the natural enemy to what I do. And actually, it's a bit like the situation when the car was invented. You have horse and trap. Why do we need a car? We have a horse and trap that can do the job. And actually resisting tools that are available to you can actually limit you and limit your reach. So I'm a huge AI advocate, but not in the way that you would think. So I'm asking people what they reach for. How do you prompt it? Do you prefix the work that you're using? And I'm asking people just to be honest with themselves as they move forward. So here's the thing. This is what I see a lot on LinkedIn in my career. 54% of long form LinkedIn posts are likely AI generated. And that's gone up 189% since ChatGPT landed. And over 100, most posts are over 107% longer. And that comes from Originality AI's research, over 8,000 posts analyzed. And what that's showing us is that 45% of people are less likely to engage on AI posts than the ones with the human being in it. Now, that sounds like it's working against what I've already said, but I want to explain this as we work through. Sameness doesn't land. So AI shouldn't and won't replace your voice. I view it as an amplification. The prompt is you, the edit is you, and the taste in the room is you. So, how do you bring yourself in? And why should that matter in what we're doing as creatives? So, here's my question. Rather than telling AI what to do or trying to find a shortcut to what we're trying to achieve, how much do you ask what your clients feel? Not what they think. What do they feel when something sounds like them? What do they feel when your service lands for them and you achieve? That feeling has a name, and that name is recognition. So this is where I specialize and spend a lot of time at the moment. You're not writing for everyone. You should never be writing for everyone. You're writing for a tribe. And that's quite an overused phrase. So I want to break this down a little bit. So a tribe is being a group of people connected to one another, connected to a leader or yourself, and connected to an idea. And to borrow Seth Godin, people like us who do things like this. So we could call ourselves a tribe being creatives. So if we look at social media and we look at marketing and we look at how we use our voice, likes are the casino, conversations are the business. So only about 5% of people that you talk to or write for are in the market right now to make a purchase decision. And the other 95% are silently watching. And that's proven. That comes from the LinkedIn's B2B Institute rules, the 95-55 rule. So the question I always put to people when I start writing or working with people on voice is your likes versus your real conversations. What are the ratios? If you have 5,000 likes and an empty inbox, your writing is the casino. You're getting a lot of attention. You're getting a lot of interaction. But going back to a point made earlier in the conversation, there is no business in that work. You're not landing your dream clients. You're not having the conversations you need to have. You aren't networking. You are kicking tires, but feeling popular at the same time. That's the difference between a conversation emotionally led ghostwriter and a copywriter firing out GPT templates. So I specialize a lot in LinkedIn and using it as a pipeline, using that to develop a sales funnel. And most people are treating it like a billboard. Most people write for a billboard. It's self-proclamation, it's self-advertising, it's LinkedIn influencer type posts. It isn't that. It's a trust ledger. 75% of readers are silent. They sit in the background and never leave any signals for you. They don't leave any likes, comments, or interaction or trail that they've been there. But 75% of them look into something new after a useful post. Once you spark an original idea, an affiliation, a trust signal, you're activating people. 9 in 10 are warmer to outreach from people who post well consistently. They will leave signals for you. They won't write in your comments, DM me now, I need this, but they will leave a like, which is quieter than leaving a comment. They will appear in your inbox. They will appear viewing your profile a number of times. Knowing how to use that is a real skill. And 70% have quietly questioned a supplier of someone else's post. So if you put something out that's authentic and built the trust, when they're evaluating people, they'll use that information in their decision making. And this is key for what each of us do in the room at the moment. So building content, I see this as two different camps. You have the influencer camp, who are the people that like to take photographs of themselves drinking coffee. There's nothing wrong with that. And they will write a post about how they tripped over a cat and saved the world. And that's completely fine. That to me is influencer-led content, and it's a lifestyle imitation. If you're a business owner or a creative, you want to build heartbeat content, which is a constant theme cycling through different content pillars. So different things you want to be known for, and that are the trust brick in your pile, that your followers and readers and people around you are starting to build up a picture and affiliation to you. So it's a steady signal that only your intended target are reading and recognizing themselves in. And they're going to feel safe from a distance. They can watch you without the threat of a pitch. They can watch you without being attacked or judged. You become familiar, expected, and unmistakably your own. That is the core purpose of good ghostwriting. So recognized from a distance and called in like a siren. So we're not passive in this. We're not going to sit back and say, I'm just going to put up my thoughts. The whole point is to act like a siren on the rocks. We are drawing you in with our story and our signal and our truth. You are lining up with us because you share the same beliefs, you belong to the same tribe. We're activating knowledge. We are sharing everything we do publicly, because the whole goal is to educate and empower someone. And the service part comes in because you want us to deliver it for you, not tell you how to think. So this is very different from the influencer model. We're not chasing people down, we're drawing them in. The right people will come towards the sound and embrace you and build up familiarity. That's the goal of what we're doing here. So how do we do that? Well, the real sales and marketing tool is daily meaningful conversations, no push. And what do I mean by that? Well, if your content, however you produce that, is your daily heartbeat, but you use that as the lever to go and make conversation with people, you're going to DM the signal givers and you're going to start a conversation. It's you don't follow these DM playbooks. Claude isn't going to take over the world. It's a very good tool, but you can't beat a human being reaching out to a human being and saying, I saw you connected with that. That's really cool. What are you up to? And starting a conversation and evaluating whether you're going to work well together or if there's any opportunity. That is the real signal. The rest is just hustle. That's what I spend a lot of my time doing. So my encouragement to you is, if you are going to use AI and you are going to want to use some of these tools intelligently, Jim just gave you a masterclass and explained how to get ahead on this. And it's transcription, believe it or not, it's voice. So you need to go forward and make the sound that only you make. Keep that conversation going. That's the whole job. And if that's AI, there are a number of tools that are freely available. And I'm going to share this with the group when the meeting notes come out. I use two particular tools. One of those is called Granola. It's a meeting transcriber, and it's a transcriber that gives you full notes and a brain to work with. And I also use something called Whisperflow, and it allows you to use your voice for thinking. And you might not be aware that most people, when they're typing, kind of cap out at 120 words per minute. When you speak, you're at least 100 to 140 to 160 words per minute when you speak. So you're faster. You activate different elements and areas of your brain and consciousness that bring out different creative elements. You're not filtering between your brain and your fingers when you're typing, you're speaking. Highly encourage that for ideation. So I'm going to put it over to you guys. Are there things that you want to ask me around AI and writing?
First thing, I think that was a really excellent presentation.
Thank
It
you.
was so on point, it was untrue.
Thank you.
Where I'm with AI, what I've realised with AI is to try and get what I'm called a perfect sweet spot balance.
Yeah.
Using the technology, but infusing it with you.
Yeah.
Infuse it with you. And where
Brilliant.
I'm finding that really, really interesting is, so the way I'm doing it, and also because you've got to, so I might go on a bit here.
No, I'm a listener.
It's so important that you have to protect your own self-identity with this stuff.
Yes.
Because if you don't, you get sucked in and you just become like everything else.
Yep.
So how I'm handling it is I've created certain red lines, and the big red line I've created is the actual music I make. That has no AI in it whatsoever. And what I'm doing is I'm using AI to amplify that message, if that makes sense. Because I think that people need to embrace this technology, but then understand how to use it in a way that actually enhances what we do, doesn't just become samey. So what I'm ultimately trying to do with the stuff I'm doing is to try and project that out and say, right, this is the tool, this is how you use it, but this is how you protect your own identity. So for what it's
I like that.